Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me okay, and if you can't, please let me know. We're going to hop right into this. We're playing some silly decks tonight. Hello, everyone. Focus on the card Random Encounter. And for those of you who are not aware, Random Encounter is a 6-cost card. It mills the top 4 cards of your deck after you shuffle, so you can't do any top of library shenanigans, and it puts all creatures you milled this way onto the battlefield. They get haste, and at the end of the turn, they go back to your hand, and it has flashback. And I think most people would agree that this is kind of a meme card, but I think it's a lot better than people might think it is. It's pretty easy to set up a one-shot with this card. Of course, it's dependent on some randomness, but we're going to jump into it and hopefully you'll just see for yourself what that looks like. This deck uses a lot of the Omen Dragons. The reason is that those Omen Dragons allow us to play a higher density of creatures so that we're less subject to the randomness of the random encounter. We do want to hit creatures and not spells, and being able to run creatures that are spell-like is pretty cool. There's also a couple Omen Dragons that let us get lands out of our deck. Again, removing cards that are misses as far as our core game plan is concerned. And of course the deck is a complete mess in general because I have no wild cards. So it is probably not the best random encounter deck you can build, but it does the funny thing, and that's really that's what matters here. Galta's not really good in our hand, so I guess we just toss it. That's so sad, though. The other thing that's neat about this deck is that in games where you don't actually get random encounter, you just get to play really big dragons. Like, this guy has a board of just, like, pathetic tiny creatures, and our first creature is going to be massive. I'm thinking I might want to do roast this guy and then roast Vengeful Blood Witch. Oh, we only have one red source. So we'll just roast this guy. Can he... Did he just do that for damage? Or did he think that he was going to be able to... I guess he must just done it for damage. Oh. Okay. bad. I think we want the life from this. I think if we don't play it, we might die. We might die anyways. He swings out and then sacks his whole board. Okay, so he's got 3 Blood Artist effects, so... yeah, he can... I think he can just eat his whole board here, and I just die. Without him attacking. Because that's 3... 9, because this has 2 death triggers. 12. And then he could pick off the others. I should probably just scoop it up, but we'll let them enjoy the victory. I'm noticing that the camera slightly covers the board, so why don't we do that? They did it. Anyways, before I hard pivoted to mono blue, I was playing this deck and other random encounter decks exclusively in ranked at the bottom of platinum, because you can't drop below that. And occasionally you get to do something very funny. This looks okay. We have 2 Overlord of the Hauntwoods, so we get to ramp really hard. And then we get to play Galta. No interaction. But, you know. Probably don't need a 3rd one. I have come to dislike this card because it is usually an indication that somebody is playing the Agatha's Soul Cauldron deck. Lathis is funny, but probably never good. We did get our random encounter, so we might get to do the thing. They're playing a Goblin Trap deck? Or Goblin Typal. My boomer lingo is showing. So next turn we can drop Twin Flame Tyrant as kind of like a must-remove card. And if they remove it, then hopefully they burn some resources on that instead of, you know, straight up killing us. We might just die. Yeah, we're cooked. It's so tragic. They're trying to figure out if they can just swing out, or... Because, I mean, I'm like 90% sure that we're just dead here, because they fire off. Both of their kind of goblin bushwhacker effects here. I promise we're going to see the deck do what it's supposed to do at some point. This is fine. We get to grab a mountain, then we have roast up so that we don't get steamrolled by, you know, decks that plan on winning the game before turn 6. And we even get to do a little ramping. We do need another mountain for random encounter, because unfortunately Bloomvine region, for one reason or another, only lets you get basic forests. This will get us an additional red source, but we're going to play it next turn so that we can play it as a creature. Maybe we're playing straight into a counterspell, but we still do it. Gotta clear out the counterspell so that random encounter can land. Bounce it? Yeah. Moment of truth is coming up. They could still have a counterspell up, which would be very sad, but I mean, like, we have to go for it. Wish me luck, folks. Please let this resolve. No. Okay, it's all right. We get to try again next turn. It has flashback. Are we dead? No. So sad. Do I have both roasts in the deck? I have both roasts. I have both disruptive Stormbrood. Those are our only early ways to kind of interact with the board, which is probably bad. I have other random encounter decks that I've tried. Like there's one that uses the big sagas. might work better. This has ramp. Yeah, we'll try it. I have very low standards. This deck was a little bit easier when you had up the Beanstalk, because it turns out that card is pretty good, even in bad decks. So, looks like this game we're just going to be playing drop Twin Flame Tyrants until they run out of removal. And see what happens. They're on red-green, so might not be super easy for them to deal with this. Makes me so sad that this is the game we're gonna end up winning, and it's gonna be completely unrelated to random encounter, and is gonna be entirely because not having removal for Twin Flame Tyrant is a death sentence. Oh, they have black mana. Big? Okay. Good news is this guy is an enchantment, so we can just Disruptive Stormbrood it. Oh, good. That was shockingly tame for what I was expecting. I mean, this seems like just a really good trade for me. Wow, okay. We've had the misfortune of drawing this several turns in a row. Do we just slam it? This guy has reach. Yeah, I think we just slam that. Okay. I don't think that there's any dragon that we can get that saves us. I guess we can roast this. Because it roasts for 10. We almost have lethal. If only we had something that pushed for a little damage. Neither has trample. Maybe we just YOLO it up. Hope that they can't kill us here. I can't believe somebody else beat me to my own game. We have yet to cast random encounter and we get to see somebody else do the thing first. That's so sad. That's so tragic. I think I want to put in another one of these guys because I'm sick of not being able to do anything early. But then we run into the problem if I don't want to cut anything. I guess we could just cut a land. What's the worst thing that could happen, right? We'll cut the white mana. Maybe. Maybe not. We have such bad... we have such a bad mana base, because, once again, 0 wildcards. Alright. We have random encounter in our hand. We get to loot. Maybe I should be getting more selective with which hands I keep, but I just want to cast random encounter as my only goal. Winning is secondary to that. I have never seen this art before. I've seen this card a lot. I would not have known that this was on MTGA. Nice, we got a green source, so now we're cooking. Right. So we can fire off random encounter next turn if we want. And I think we just go for it. I think, like, every time we cast this card, we have, like, a... I don't know. I don't know what the actual math is, but I'm gonna say it's a 12% chance, maybe, that we just win right away. Maybe. All right, let's do it. Well, that was not it. But again, we get to try again in a second here. We also have multiple ways to deal with Primal Odin if that's what they're doing. Okay, they didn't do anything, which is interesting. We could fire off... Oh, looks like we only have one forest left, so maybe we'll do a roast. And we'll grab another land. Okay. So we're set up for random encounter next turn, and we've put a bunch of creatures into our deck. And we've removed some lands. Okay. Let's do it. That is not lethal. But we did mill into a random encounter, so we can do it again. Third time's a charm, perhaps. Now, I just want to acknowledge that we can play Twin Flame Tyrant and then haste with this for the kill, but we're not going to do that because we are not cowards. Random encounter or nothing. Here we go. Finally. There's a part of me that wants to keep this, but I like this better. It doesn't look that different, probably, but taking the forests out of my deck. Oh, this is looking... Oh, okay. So we're on the right track here. So we get to do a turn 3 claim territory, then turn 5 play Overlord. And then we get to play random encounter. This is a wacky deck that they have. Buster Sword. I think I will block that. Very cool. So we will use this first, right? Get a land out of our deck. Okay, we did it. Is the snaps concede going to happen? So what's cool about hitting Galta off of random encounter is you get to actually keep the things that you rip out of your hand. I think ideally I would have 4 Galtas, but I only have 2. The other advantage of Galta, of course, is that it hits for 12 without any assistance, and if you have the Twin Flame Dragon that doubles damage, then that combination of 2 is lethal. Or if you have Galta and then Twin Flame Dragon in hand, Galta pulls Twin Flame out of your hand. Galta also kills with Terror of the Peaks if you pull both of them off of random encounter. Basically, Galta is the best thing that you can pull off of the card, because it has so many ways to win the game on the spot, and if it doesn't win the game on the spot, you're probably just, like, up an insane amount of value. Oh. That gives us a play if they don't play anything that we want to roast. I guess it's safest just to roast this in case we don't want it to grow outside of roasting range. I guess we just roast again. Okay, the third one. You'd think we were playing control, but we are not. Yeah. I think they're probably just gonna scoop because I'm gonna trade 1-for-1 with every card they play until I get to play Twin Flame Tyrant into an empty board. Yeah. I wish more games, I drew those early omens. That was a little brutal, though. I prefer the games to be a little longer so we get to actually see the fun thing that our deck does. We will try it. We have multiple ways that we can get lands. And we have a way to move things, which is good. Cool. So we can grab our swamp. That is a juicy target for us to roast. Oh. I guess we just do this. It is a little weird to see me stream. I don't usually stream, but I figured maybe I could start because making or streaming is so much easier than editing videos. I think obviously there's less like creative value potentially, but we're gonna roast this guy just so that if we roasted this one, he could fizzle our Omen, which means it won't shuffle, and I want Twin Moth to be in our deck to increase the number of creatures we have. So that's really the whole reason we're using the Omen creatures to begin with, is to increase the density of creatures in our deck so that random encounters more likely to hit things that actually do things. Okay, let's go for it. Big, huge. All right. Let's do it again. Very cool. One of the other versions of this deck I was running was using Massacre Worm. I was playing a black version and pulling Massacre Worm out of random encounters, one of the more funny things to pull out. If I had more wild cards, I would take that a little further and probably put in there's the demon that doubles life loss for your opponents. This would be a pretty risky keep, but if we draw a land, it's so good. We'll try it. I'm not a smart person. Alright. Regret is already creeping in. We got one more shot here. One more shot before we... Okay. And we don't get punished for being bad. Keeping a bad hand. We don't have the red sources to actually cast random encounter, but Overlord should hopefully... gets at least one red source, and then if they don't kill it, we get another. I think they will kill it though. Because they look like they're playing like the Final Fantasy Black Mages cards, and they have like a Cruel Edict that gives you a little guy. Which, this is such a juicy thing to hit. Yeah, not being punished for being bad is what being good looks like. Killing this with Disruptive Stormbrood would probably be smart, but I really, really want to get another red source, because this is what we're here for. So I think we're gonna just... do this, and then this. Oh wait, duh! This gets me another red source. That was a waste of our turn for nothing. I'm willing to trade that though. So we just need to stay alive. So we have 8 mana, so we can kill off one of his guys with Disruptive Stormbrood, and then we can random encounter. Okay. So we'll do that. I don't think we played a land, so I think we can get a mountain, play it, and then random encounter. Okay, so they die. Very cool. I did have fun, but I feel very cynical anytime the game asks me if I had fun, and I very much was using it to report which decks I wanted banned, which I think I must have not been the only one doing that, judging by how the standard bans went, because I really didn't want Prowess to get gutted and then omniscience to be just let off, like just completely unchecked in any way. This looks alright. Get rid of that guy. Card blind all-star Saz's Chocobo. We could roast it, but I think we're gonna just get ourselves another forest and then do this. I played a lot of Team Fortress 2 back in the day. Just quickly opening up Steam to check. Yeah. 1,366 hours, so quite a bit. I think I just want to remove this now. And next turn we get to play Overlord of the Hauntwoods as a big guy. 2.9k hours on TF2 is quite a bit. I played nearly a decade ago is like when I was playing. As crazy as that is, the game is just that old. What is Ooh. Oh, that's spicy. So they get to sack all of their lands and then bring them back? That's cool. Oh, okay. I see where this is going. This person is cooking. So they get to tap out, sack all of their lands, with this, draw 6 cards, and then get 6 landfall triggers. Unless they're thinking about, like, reading out and doing something silly. Okay, so then they sack all of their lands. That's a lot of little chickens. Pretty sure that the only... They didn't attack? Huh. Okay. This is another spicy combo with hitting a million landfall triggers. We're looking pretty dead here. Let's take a second to pivot to a different random encounter deck. Whatever I was playing might have been invalidated by the Beanstalk ban, which is to be expected. But it also means we don't have to run Authority of the Consuls. It's like a main deck card. Dun, dun. We could run this again. So, let's see how this goes. This deck doesn't have nearly as much one-shot potential, but it might just be a better deck because you're running some actually, like, sensible cards. Oh, I guess we want to discard this to reanimate it? Yeah, we'll keep it. Okay, so this person might be playing, for those of you who haven't seen it, there's this weird, like, cascade deck that just cascades from one thing into the other over and over, because there's a card that cascades higher mana cost than itself. It's like Dragon Storm something. But this package of Sunken Citadel and the Gold Saucer is one I've seen a few times used that way. Oh. Maybe they're doing something else. No, this has to be the Cascade deck. It has to be. Yeah, it is. Okay, so I think we lose. but I'll, for the sake of educating some folks here who may have not seen this, this is what we're dealing with. Oh, we actually don't die because they did this during their end step, so they can't activate Victorious.
I'm ready for another exciting expedition.
We're going to die next turn though, just to be clear. Like we're cooked. They really popped off, big time.
Let's dig over here.
So this flickers that, and then that starts the loop again. This is not part of the normal game plan.
Don't start the fight without me. Oh, I'm just getting started.
So there's a very, very, very small chance that they just fizzle. No, we're dead. Very cool. That's pretty bad. This is looking a lot better. And we're gonna toss Bahamut. If that's how you pronounce it, Bahamut. Might be something else. Cool, so we get to put this in the discard pile. I wonder what the odds are that they just, like, combo off next turn. Like, Vivi being alive is kind of a problem. This card is so unbelievably pushed. It's kind of crazy. Like, I almost feel like the +1/+1 counters could have just been prowess. Like, the fact that it maintains its increased power and toughness across turns. The fact that it also pings people so that, like, I mean, it's not relevant for standard, but for commander, being able to curiosity combo with it. It is pretty crazy. We are gonna have 6, 7, 8 mana next turn. We could pump it up to 9 by attacking, but that's... I feel like we risk just getting killed. We could swing at this and force a block. Just about equates to the same amount of damage that we block by actually blocking. I'm betting that he can kill me here. They've got the 1 mana, give something +3/+0 in haste, then it's like definitely over. Yeah, wait, did they put it on Vivi? I mean, I guess they can just count it, cast again, cast it here. They BMing me? Why don't they put it on the summoning second one? Alright, I think we're gonna do one more game here. And then we're gonna call it. Yeah, let's give it a shot. We get to see a bunch of cards. So we get to loot. Ooh, and we get that in the discard pile for Yuna. Show me a land. Okay. We are gonna juggle the baby and this game at the same time. So I'm gonna disappear temporarily. I'll be right back. Well, I don't know how many folks are actually still around anymore, but we'll try to finish on a strong note here and then call it a night. This is the part of being live that you don't see in an edited video, which is there are interruptions. This looks pretty good. Oh, okay, so we could just play the normal Yuna game plan. That would be boring. This gives us a turn 4 random encounter. And then if need be, we can fall back on playing the game like a real person. Alright, let's rip it. Okay, so we get to do a lot of damage here. Oh wait, no, they're just dead, right? Cool. I think we can do. I think we can do another. Maybe. That one was very quick. Yeah, we will keep this and see what happens. Okay, so they have nothing. It's good. We did manage to get a land. This revealed cards thing, by the way, this little X, I desperately wish that little X was slightly larger on mobile. What are we playing deck-wise? The mission here is random encounter. You're catching me at the tail end of the stream, but the plan is to use random encounter to the best extent that we can, which in this deck is to try to slam either the giant saga creatures themselves or get Yuna to get them out of our graveyard. I think this deck is maybe a little more effective than the one that we were playing earlier on. But the one that we were playing earlier on has a much higher chance of getting a one-shot. We could do... just Overlord here. Or we could do Invasion and Impending Overlord. Just Overlord's probably better, but I'm more focused on trying to live the meme than I am making the best play, so we gotta consider these things. And I think we let Lady Fortuna decide our fate here. Show me big money. Okay, that's okay. That's pretty good, actually. It could be better. It ramps us really hard, so we can do a random encounter again next turn, if we want to. We could also, like, you know, cast Summon Knights of the Round or Yuna, like any kind of sane person would, but it's really not what we're here for, though. So we've got a 9 mana. So they're attacking for 8 next turn. So we're not dead, so we can afford to cast Random Encounter, is what I'm thinking. But so much of our actual good stuff is in our hand. Yep. Yeah, that's not good. Just playing Yuna would have been so sane. There's no way they have, like, a pump spell, right? Wow! Okay. This looks alright. And if we win this, we go to bed. And if we lose this, we think about it. What? Man. This card would have been considered so good not that long ago. The 2-mana 3/2 with haste with upside. And there's another one. Like, this is the first time I'm seeing this card, and that's kind of, in itself, is shocking that a card like this could exist and just be unplayable in Standard. Maybe it is playable in Standard, and I'm just living under a rock. I feel like slamming your creature into mine in those circumstances is probably not the right move. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. Guess we don't really have big enchantments in the yard, though. Lifelink will win us the game, though. If it comes to it. I think we still attack. So are they giving up, or am I gonna see some, like, insane maneuver here? Are they gonna play a random encounter? No. Did they scoop to this? The lifelink is huge. Yeah. Okay, we did win, but we didn't play random encounter. I think we better go to bed anyways. But it's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate any of those of you who watched, and I hope you enjoyed. And maybe I'll see you again soon. Good night.